Hello, everyone. This is Khan from Hackquarters, and you are joining us with the new episode of the New Normal. In this episode series, we have hosted a lot of different talented people who's been working in startups, in innovation, and different parts of technology. And today's guest is quite different than what we had so far. So we are going to have Derik Kim, founder of Global Entrepreneurship Foundation, with us today from Korea. Korea is one of the countries that actually worked out their way out of pandemic really, really quickly and soon. So without further ado, I'm going to have Derik on screen with me. So Derik, welcome. How are you?
Hi. It's a good evening in Asia and good afternoon in Europe. Good morning in America.
The last panel that we had a similar problem because we had friends from Brazil, Bahrain, and
Wow.
Ireland. So our time zone is getting larger and larger, and few people are actually joining our live talks right now. So for the people who haven't met with you, Derik, I know you have been to a lot of different events. You've been investor for a long time. You run accelerators as well. Would you mind talking about a little bit about yourself? So I will also put your presentation on the side so you can introduce yourself and what you have done so far.
Okay. My name is Derik Kim, and founder of the Global Entrepreneur Foundation in Korea, and the senator of the World Business Angels Investment Forum. I started my first job at Derik Corporation, is a trading company, in 1987. And for 27 years until 2013, I have worked for 5 companies in Korea and the United States. Also, I founded the 6 startups. 2 was in the US and 4 in Korea. Honestly speaking, as an entrepreneur or the founder, 4 of my startups were failed, and 2 of them were not very successful due to the major losses. And even as an employee, executive vice president was said to have been somewhat successful. As I studied business with many companies, I have traveled a lot of the business travel around the world. So I have been to 122 countries so far. Then, in the 2014, I returned from the United States to Korea and founded my current foundation, Global Entrepreneurs Foundation. And I'm investing in angel investment, accelerators, and scalerators as a project to support the globalization of the Korea startup ecosystem and to support for global young entrepreneurs. Till now, my foundation. My foundation have around 130 startups portfolio. Among them we invested is the 27 startups as these accelerators as well as angel investment. Then since the last year, it's also I have been serving as one of the biggest is the angel investment organization in the world. It's the World Business Angel Investment Forum as a senator representing the Korea. That's it.
Next week, we are going to have Marcel from World Business Angels Forum. I'm sure that you know him as well. Yeah. So while you are talking about startups, and one of the things that we really like to talk in this sessions is actually how the startups are changing and how do you see permanent changes in the tech ecosystem. So before I'm going to ask you my question, there are people who are listening us live, and you are a great person to be connected for Korean market. And it's a really incredible market, a lot of technologies and a lot of growth and prosperity. So and maybe they would like to talk and ask you a few questions about Korean market. So my first question would be, what do you see in startups during this pandemic, and can you give us some examples from Korean market? So if you may, I would open your presentation as well.
Okay. Actually, I can see the many changes. But in Korea is the biggest change is from going from the contact to the contactless. Now everybody is saying the on-tech. It's contact and on-tech, right? Korea has been a country with highly developed delivery apps. Recently, one of the biggest delivery company was merged to the Delivery Hero in the Germany. However, before COVID, the delivery man had to personally deliver it to the recipient. But now it is changing to a system that does not require face-to-face delivery. That's a big change now. It's the down delivery market. It's a delivery in the very, very early morning. It means it's the delivery, the overnight delivery systems.
Yeah.
Which in Korea, which began several years ago, and of course it's rapidly increasing. But now it's more increasing as a means of the non-face-to-face delivery that emerged due to COVID. Last week, Korean startup Hackquarters. Have you heard it? Hackquarters is to deliver the fresh food or the fresh vegetable in the early morning. Is the 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock.
It is Amazon Fresh.
Like
right?
Yeah. Or even though it's also the fresh meal and fresh food. Is that they were the first to the launch a business model called down delivery in 2015 in Korea, and it's the last week they got the Series D investment. It's amounting 200 billion won, means about 163 million US dollars, despite the bad COVID situation.
Yeah.
The second thing is
would you like to change it?
Not change yet.
Okay.
Not change. Yeah. It is the last thing. Okay. The second thing is I think some education online system. Of course, it's the meeting or the lectures have used before by online, but as you know, the current internet video call system was developed without this in mind. So simple lectures or meetings are possible, but they are not suitable for the detailed communication of products or the technology. For example, recently my daughter-in-law was doing a violin lesson on the internet video system. It's very amazing, right? Because they cannot lesson is the face-to-face. But she had difficulty because there was a slight delay on audio, and she could not demonstrate so easily. This is due to the problem of the live streaming. That you can only see the action on the flat surface. I was I have worked in US. I was in charge of the managing global orders. The venture in the United States, and in order to proceed some orders, I had to go on the numerous business trip and meetings. I think it's more than 10 times per on order in a year, in my memory. So now I think this supply chain is not proper operating normally due to the COVID, because there are the limitation with the current internet video system. So if this COVID situation continues, I think the online the video system will be upgraded further,
Exactly.
like as a 3D video call system.
Mhm.
Like, can you imagine the 3D video, or is the use the technology the VR or AR to explain these products or to explain the technology. And
So
then the last one more things.
yeah, sure,
Can you show the
of course.
the presentation? The second one, the
Okay.
upper one.
Which one?
Okay, the upper one too. Second page. Okay.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. What can you see on the screen?
Sanitizers tied to elevators and
Yes, that's right. These
right?
are the photo in the my apartment elevators.
Uh-huh.
I live in Korea. Next one.
Uh-huh. Next one, yeah.
Yeah. This is also some is the kind of the instruction and the tips for the COVID. And also they are attaching some a wall of the elevators. The next one.
Sure.
Yeah, you know what is this? This is some is the camera system at
Mm-hmm.
the airport or
Yeah.
some the big buildings. This one is some a kind of but they are checking the temperature by
Mm-hmm.
the sensor. It's
Yeah.
on some the entrance of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's you can see it's and also it's in Korea it's the public buildings and the large shopping malls are frequently used to disinfect periodically now. Before, smart home or smart building did not deal with this kind of problems with antivirus, right?
Exactly. We need
Yeah,
health layer on the smart living from now on. I mean, we are
yeah,
not going to put just hand sanitizers in the elevators, but there will be something much better.
yeah,
It's like an MVP of a smart
yeah,
apartment appliance,
yeah,
but
yeah. And also, you know, the CCTV,
yeah.
CCTV to check, CCTV device was also used to prevent only the theft or
Mm-hmm.
fire in the building. It, in Korea, is the we have trace is the person to have the coronavirus
Mm-hmm.
through some tracking system, but is the CCTV was related to many things, but they were not related to the body temperature or tracking the number of the visitors.
Mm-hmm.
So it's then the cost of the preventing and the treating COVID is now the enormous. I
Exactly.
think in the future, these health and personal tracking devices will be installed as a smart system in residential or the large buildings. That is that it will be changing, or that is the new normal in the startup
Yeah.
ecosystem in the future.
I mean, before going forward, I
Mhm.
definitely see what you are talking about. Like, we might have some kind of Star Trek-ish gadgets, so we can do like 3D meetings. Because this week, I guess, founder of Twitter also said that they are not going to, maybe they are not never going to office again. They are going
Mhm.
fully remotely, and we will
Mhm.
see how it will happen. But I see a lot of people are actually interested in changing their like work life too. So
Mhm.
those kind of solutions, definitely we will have offices still, but
Mhm.
it will be an interesting change for us in all humanity. And seeing from the different countries, this is something to stay for all of the countries anyway. And
Mhm.
since you have a lot of startups in your portfolio and have seen invested taken into accelerators, do you have any kind of good reactions from those startups for pandemic, like changing their structure more suitable for pandemic um, growth or security, or even changes in their organizational structure? So people who are going to listen from you from founder's perspective, so
Mhm.
they would know how to pivot for themselves as well.
Mhm. Okay, can you show the last yeah.
This one, right? So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I want to share the two cases in Korea. The first one is I mentioned earlier. It is a non-face-to-face delivery service of one of the kind of the such kind of service. Actually, we are running the GF is running now is the two centers. One is the ICT Youth Entrepreneur Support Center in the Songpa district in Seoul. There is a startup called Mobility. Mobility is that build a logistic delivery system based on the AI technology. I'm sorry, it's because I have no time to convert in English, so I use this Korean, but I can explain. Actually, there are some kind of the unmanned storage box system between the subway station in Seoul. This is the departure station. This is the arrival station. There are some storage boxes.
Okay.
So actually, the storage boxes before only were used for only as a place to hold and store goods, or as the place to deliver goods between the people who previously made arrangement each other's. But this startup has turned those boxes into the place to deliver goods. Of course, in the past, the woman who lived alone had a high demand for such a non-face-to-face courier service for their homes. But there were not so many. But now, COVID has aroused increased concern for the viral infections and transmission, thus increasing the number of the people who want non-face to delivery. So they have developed this kind of system. It's controlled by the AI, and it's to make some good service, as well as it's to screen the image of the products. This is kind of the new business according to the new normal. In another case, actually, one of the graduate alumni doing the entrepreneurship education. Actually, they are not the simple lecture type education, but a practical entrepreneurship education using the developed tools. So it's 2 months ago, the CEO told me all planned education schedule have been cancelled. So big problem due to COVID. So maybe he said I gonna get no money for the next 2 or 3 months. Yeah, but just in this week he said actually he quickly recognized the market changes, and then it quickly installs on online video education system as well as on the interactive video system in his company, and then they develop the content and wins up the entrepreneur education market. And then this week he said the current the revenue is higher than before.
Yeah, I mean, definitely we see a lot of companies are facing this similar things. I mean, there are a lot of SaaS companies, education companies. Nobody was really interested in doing like remote working because they want to go to the same places, campuses or classrooms. I mean, they thought that it was the way to learn and socialize. But we see a lot of companies actually doing more remote things better than ever. Maybe I'm sure that Masterclass is another startup which has been there for a while, and I see a lot of their advertisings in the market now. I'm sure that they have more subscribers because now we don't have time to commute, so we can actually do this. I was surprised, for example, the podcast listeners dropped significantly because podcast was a good idea. I love podcasts. I mean, I listen to a lot of different podcasts, but when you are traveling, podcast is kind of the only solution. But when you are in the house, when you are not committing that much, then you have time for like video chat. You can have like asynchronous, synchronous videos, and also TVs are also smart. I mean, we were even having our conversation with friends, and their faces were on the TV. It makes a lot of difference. I mean, the broadband is good now. You were mentioning about that, so infrastructure will get better, and I'm thinking that few of the things will stay this way, even if there is no virus at all outside. What do you, are those changes are here to stay, or do we see we are going to see something new? Do you expect us to go back to what we were like 3 months ago?
Even it's actually this I'm not happy because it's the in the spring is actually I was planned is to participate some of the conference. And also it's actually also is I had a plan is to do some is the global the startup accelerating, but it's actually all was the cancelled.
Yeah.
All of the delayed list. So for the last 2 months, I have stayed at home.
Which is different for you, right? You travel a lot. I mean, you participate to different continents, different countries, just to work with their like startup ecosystems, and staying at home is really, really interesting. So my final question would be actually is, since you've been sitting at home, working at home, you have new behaviors, you have new like things that you do at home. So what is the one thing that you appreciated the most and you are planning to keep it after virus is gone, pandemic is done? So what do you think that it will keep, you will keep it with your life after the pandemic?
Yeah. Oh, it's only one? I can say two.
Yeah.
Can I say two? Okay. Yes. Actually, there is the I have traveled. Is the last there is the overseas travel in this year is the February. Is to participate in WBAF World Congress in Turkey, and then I have visited Spain, and then I have at that time almost the coronavirus was created in China, and then just started in Korea, and then I had come back in February 25th in Seoul. Then I have stayed at home almost 2 months, end of the April. Then actually, as I said before, I have traveled a lot. It's 122 countries till now. So I have married. I have been married for 34 years, and then my wife said we have lived apart for more than the 20 years. But I claim it's the 15 years. Yeah. So before, I rarely had 3 meals a day at home. So I sometimes made a notice to my wife when I was going to eat the 3 meals at home. However, even though I was forced to eat the 3 meals at home this time, I felt justified at first.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? But as the time kept getting longer, some problem is some of the stress. Then I felt some grateful or some the appreciation without my knowledge for my wife. Okay, and then actually the second is very unexpected, but now I'm very appreciating is the appreciation for the ordinary. My family is Christian, for example. My family is Christian, so we went to church every week. But so we have not been to church for the past 2 months. Going to church was the natural thing for us to do, but it was not natural anymore. We recognized, and it was unfamiliar to worship at the home. even though it's actually there is in March, my father had a birthday for his birthday. So in my father's birthday, all my family has been gathered together for his birthday parties before, but at this time we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So also, that party was also very common. It's a kind of the annual the ceremony, but nowadays when I came to realize that the normal I knew was no longer normal. So I was grateful for the what used to be the considered as normal. This is some kind of some lesson from the COVID, and then some for the last 2 months.
Right? I mean, when these kind of times happens, we start appreciating what we had and we didn't care about, and it's a good time. I hope most of us will keep at least few notes for themselves for the rest of their life, and we will never ever have this kind of a thing happen to our world. And here, one of the questions comes to me. It's a question for Korea. So a lot of startups are in Hackquarters portfolio. We have different programs, and they have internal national market appetite. So do you think Korea is a good market where a good startup is growing and should come to Korea? How do you think about that?
Oh yes, actually, some difficulty, but the best thing is now in Korea is the one of the best investment country. It's the most, in my opinion, is I think in Korea is the startup is the very easy to get the fund investment from the venture capital as well as the angel investors. I think if I compare between Korea and America, I think Korea is easier. There's more than 5 times.
Okay, I see.
Actually, in Korea is one of the 5 startups. Around the 20% of the startups has received some of the investment. It's amazing the ratio.
Another topic on this one. So if you think that other startups can come to Korea and grow their businesses, what kind of verticals do you think it makes more sense? I mean, what kind of investors are looking for in different verticals, technology-wise?
Okay. It depends on 2 things. One is the Korean original technology and the Korean current market. Korean is very strong for some internet and the mobile technology. So it's whatever the startups to related is to the in IoT or the mobile or internet. Another thing is depends on the government willingness. So now the Korean government is wanna put the 2 things. One is AI technology. Another one is the material for material or some the system. It means it's some that are kind of the system for the smart factory or system for the smart city, something like that. It's those 2 kind of area is the Korean government also is funding a lot of money to the startups.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
those verticals is very nice in Korea.
I mean, Korean cities are, for example, like Seoul, they are really well designed and operated. And I definitely understand why you are planning to make it more efficient with smart cities and the energy, because of the when you look for the landscape in terms of kilometer squares or something like that, you are using it more efficiently than many other countries, and it makes a lot of sense to develop those skills even better so Korea can offer even more. I think these are the all questions. I'm just gonna wait for a few seconds, and I'm going to start thanking you. Thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure to talk with you all the time. And if you have anything to tell to our audience that besides stay at home and stay safe, maybe we can do the closing remarks and close this episode.
Okay. Thank you for everybody is to participate is this the fireside talks, and then is the actually I am very happy is to share is my knowledge, and is the Korean situation is according to this the pandemic situations, and then is I hope everybody is to be healthy, and then is overcome this kind of the situation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Khan.
See you soon. If you have anything to share with the audience, just let us know and we will be happy to share it. See you, Derik. Bye-bye.
Okay, see you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for Derik to joining us for this episode. I was quite excited because Korea is one of the interesting places to develop technology. They've been doing it for different industries so far, and they have quite strong brands. So wait for our new episode. And if you missed the previous episodes, you can always find it in YouTube and Facebook. And let us know what you think. Just if you want, comment down below and let us know and understand your feedbacks. So until the next time, take care, safe home.